Hello from Antarctica. We have Wi-Fi for like 5 minutes, so we're gonna upload this, but we finished and we got very cool medals. These are really, really cool medals.
One
Done. We did it! Okay, so you can see where we are. There's some mountains, some tents, a bunch of cool people. Yay! We're really excited. It went well, and now we're ready to sleep.
I love it. So a couple of Minnesota women right there, just finishing one of 7 marathons, and this is one of them. Ellen Hunter Gans, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I was wrong about sleep when I said that. Yeah, I think I spent about twice as much time running as sleeping during that.
Oh, I was going to say, we're going to get to some details here because this is just nuts. So you finished something called the Great World Race just 1 week ago. We were going to have you on a week ago, and I was like, we can't do that to her. You land and then come on in. You're walking. I saw you walk in. You look completely normal. How are you feeling?
I would say my brain is still somewhere over the Atlantic, but
Really?
my wallet's in Turkey.
Literally, you left it in Turkey.
Yep,
okay.
She gone. And yeah, but so I would say I have not quite wrapped my head around everything, and I'm still very much sleep deprived and a little delirious, but physically I'm fine.
Okay. So you got the one question, everybody, right away. Why? Why, Ellen?
That's fair.
Did you do this?
That's
7 marathons, 7 days, 7 different continents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of travel. I try to keep up with my age and the number of countries I've been to, and I was a little behind. So this was a really efficient way to get ahead.
Sure.
And also, I just, my sister-in-law and I have really gotten into just doing crazy endurance adventures together, and this seems like the ultimate
And
one.
that was Sarah with you in that little
clip.
clip.
That's my brother's wife. Yeah,
lives in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Health-wise, are you good? Were you ready for this? Because it doesn't sound like you were an elite athlete coming into this.
No.
No shade,
No.
but right?
No,
you were just
definitely
like a normal person like us.
Definitely not. Yeah. I mean, is anybody ever ready for this?
No.
I mean, no, probably some people are. But no, in my case, I have a connective tissue disorder that makes this an extra challenge. And I'd been running a fair amount. In fact, Sarah and I were planning to do a 100-mile race. And we pivoted from that to this. So we had a decent base of training, but I like to say I'm not fast, just stubborn. So definitely not elite.
I want to show some of the photos of some of the different places, and
Sure.
We'll kind of walk through these one by one, and you can, if there's any, you know what? No, if we could just show a couple of the photos first, and then we'll get to that clip really quickly. But which one was this?
I don't know.
Okay, never
Okay,
mind.
that's at the end. Yes, that's my celebratory at the end. Wait, that's Miami. That's Miami.
So this is the end. This is the last stop, and you just finished. And look at that smile on your face.
Yes.
Were you like that the whole time? Were you just joyful like that?
You know, I actually kind of was. I'm known for just having a ridiculous, possibly delusional smile on my face throughout races like this. And I love to ask bystanders if I'm winning when I'm very clearly not. The only problem with something like this is I think they start to wonder if I've lost it a little bit.
Sure.
I did introduce myself to a tree in Cartagena, so it's a valid concern.
So we're looking at Cartagena right there. Was there ever a time, Ellen, where you were running and you just were like, I gotta be done. I can't do this anymore?
I never reached the full I gotta be done thing. Again, I'm not a talented athlete, but I do have an ability to kind of get in what runners call the pain cave and just sort of dig in and hang on. But I will say the nighttime, the Europe-Istanbul one, we didn't start till about 9:30 at night, and it was really dark and the footing was strange.
Wow.
It was not super well lit, and there was a bunch of fisher people who were backcasting into us. And that was a moment where I'm like, what have I done? What am I doing?
And Istanbul's interesting because that's where you hit 2 continents
Correct.
in sort of one. You ran 2 races, but right? So
yeah, so we did Europe, and then I mean, technically stayed overnight, but we were in the hotel for like
Asia?
2 hours, and then Asia.
That's crazy. You obviously met so many amazing people along the way. So about how many people were in this group, and what were those relationships like?
Yeah, there were 50-ish of us total, 50-ish people with really poor judgment, probably. But it was great. And when I first found out there was going to be no Wi-Fi in the plane, I was horrified, because I'm like, I do not want to be alone with my thoughts for 90 hours of flight time. But actually, it was great because we got to bond with the people around us. And Sarah and I were in sort of Olympians row with all these just incredible athletes. And I was sitting next to a Peloton instructor who I follow. And so it was fun to just see how amazing and humble and inspiring they were in real life. So yeah, and we made friends for life. Especially there was a Welsh firefighter who ran all 7 marathons in her fire kit, which I know. My own mother kept texting me being like, she doesn't have to do that. She's still a firefighter.
Wow.
So yes, far more impressive than me. And Sarah and I are already talking about going to visit her. So yeah.
Absolutely. It's funny, you mentioned the Peloton instructor. So I want to bring in just a quick guest. So Jen, are you there? Jen, are you there?
Yep.
Oh, yay. Okay. So Ellen, meet Jen Coutu.
Hi.
Jen is the wife of John Coutu, who heads up our photojournalist department here. And John came into work a couple of weeks ago, right, Jen? And he said, I need my wife back, because right now she is obsessed with this Twitch account where they're following this crazy race and all of these people, and Jen is obsessed with it. Am I depicting it correctly, Jen?
Yep. So I went on to watch Beck's Gentry and thought I would just watch for a couple minutes, and there was a live stream, and I just could not turn it off. It was incredible. Ellen and all these other athletes running have incredible stories, and I just got suckered in. I watched every day for hours and hours. It was ridiculous. And when Ellen talked about her joy, I swear I didn't know who you were, but you would always come through on the live feed, and everyone's like hot or sweaty or freezing, and you always said the funniest things, and I was like, who is that chick?
Oh, I love it. We're going to show you. So you can't hear, so I had to give you my gross IFB right on my own ear, so I apologize about that. But so you could hear Jen. Jen, is there something you wanted to add? Like, what are you dying to know, right? Because you know that some crazy stuff had to have happened during those 7 days, right?
Yeah. Well, even I always wondered, like, because some of the elite athletes, or there was a father-son team, like, they had, like, high-end things and plans for recovery, and there were other athletes who I think had, just themselves and stuff. I'm just like, did they help you guys who didn't have it all? Like, it seems so unfair.
Yeah, I will say Sarah and I were sort of winging it a little bit. I mean, we did end up springing for your compression recovery boots, but ours were like a tenth of the price of the fancy ones. We got them on Amazon. Sale.
You got them on Amazon on sale?
Yeah. They worked great.
So you're not one of these like type A OCD marathon runners?
No, I might be the most type B ultra runner in the world. Yeah. So I actually learned a lot about this race by doing Peloton runs with Bex who did this. I'd be like, oh, that's good to know. I should make note of that leading up to this race.
That's crazy. And did you say that? So sorry, now I can't hear, but Jen, did you tell her that you stumbled on this by watching that Peloton instructor? Is that right?
Yeah. So I love Beck's Gentry. I'm not a runner. I actually would do her running classes on the elliptical.
Okay.
I'm not a runner. I ride bike, but that's it. But I just wanted to watch Beck's. Her husband had put up the live feed.
Yeah.
And the guy who did it on Twitch, like, I don't think he was planning to do it originally either. But he kind of stumbled through it, and it was amazing. There's always like 1,000 to 2,000 or 3,000 people watching at any given time. And I don't know, there's 60 runners. So it just tells you people were interested in you'd wait for the runners to come back through, and you want to see, are they still okay? I mean, for most of us, this is pretty odd. I don't know who would put their body through this.
I don't know
their
either.
Mind, so you're just praying that they come back through and that they're okay and checking in on them.
Yeah. No, I mean, my poor mother was up all night. You could have been texting back and forth with her. And I kept saying, like, Mom, it's okay. You can go to bed. I promise not to die. But she was real committed. I bet she's happy to have a normal schedule back too.
Yeah, I've seen another group, like, people are like, oh, now.
Thank you so much. This is like, we do shows like you run marathons, just not prepared at all. So here we go.
Hey.
Jen, thank you for coming on. I know you didn't want to, and then we were gonna have John do it, and he was like, no, I'm not doing it. So then he called you and said, you have to do it.
No problem. It really is amazing. Like, honestly, Ellen, runners, they have such crazy stories.
Crazy stories, yeah.
2 guys with only one lung, or an 82-year-old man. And I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing what all these runners did, and Ellen, what you guys did and how you pushed through. I mean, besides running, like just the time and all that, it's crazy. It's a lot, and you guys did it.
It is a lot.
And again, forgive me if you said this, but is it true that you wanted to go to Miami to get to the finish line? Did you say that already?
Okay, yeah. So I might have looked. By day 6, I was like, well, all these people are going to go to Miami and cheer them on. I'm like, should I go? Flights are cheap. I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
That's amazing.
So I'm a little crazy, but
my family wasn't there.
but Jen was going to be there for you.
I love it.
I would have cheered
love
on.
Thank you, Jen. All right, get back to work. We'll see you later. You're the best. I love Jen. I had to have her on because she's such a true, just pure fan of this. And I want to know how we can watch this next year, because not everybody knows what Twitch is and could follow it sort of in real time. So do you think they'll start covering it?
Well, I just found out yesterday that they are, the Twitch streamer who did it this year is going to do it again next year.
Okay.
And he got roped in like a week before. He was not prepared, like not packed for Antarctica, not packed for anything. The poor guy. Anyway, so they're going to do it next year, but now they're going to have more lead up and be able to sort of get people involved. And he was sort of toying with trying to invite Bex Gentry, the Peloton instructor, to co-host this with him next year.
Which would be huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I volunteer my services as snarky commentary, but I do not plan on running it.
It's expensive to do this, and I know you would love to do it again.
Yeah.
So, if there's anybody that wants to sponsor Ellen, she'll do it again, and it'll be great.
If your brand really could use a below average runner and below average comedian all wrapped up into one package, I'm your girl.
Right here. This is her. Ellen Hunter Gans. Thank you so much for being here and just for this incredible feat that you have pulled off. It is really just amazing. And I do think, given what Jen was saying, the desire is there to watch this kind of thing. And I hope they see this and go, this could be really big, like Amazing Race kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So
it's watching us suffer, watching other people suffer is fun sometimes,
the best.
And we signed up for it.
And you're such a good sport. Well, good luck to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
And congratulations to your sister-in-law, Sarah, too.
Thank you.